when that party will be well out of government.
Jamie Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, I am happy to stand and speak in opposition to this bill. I'm happy to stand and speak in opposition to this bill because the National Party knows that there are hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders out there that care very much about Waitangi Day and they care very much about Anzac Day. They care about the importance of those days to this nation. They don't just see those days as holidays. They see those days as being important days to recognise the people that have gone before in this country, to recognise the founders of this country that put together the Treaty of Waitangi to allow New Zealand to be the country that it is today, to recognise the people that went to war for New Zealanders to have freedoms that we exercise every day in this nation. And we, as the National Party, believe that is the importance of those days. It's about recognising why we have those days, not just viewing them as holidays. Mr Speaker, I think it's fair to say that we do have a very generous number of holidays in New Zealand. We have a generous number of holidays in New Zealand. And for people to think that these two holidays, which we care so much about in this country, should be Mondaysed, which will, one, come at quite a cost to the country whenever it comes around, and two, will reduce the meaning of the days by just treating them as normal holidays. I think a bill which does that is a disgrace and should be opposed. Mr Speaker, I want to just talk a bit more about the cost that there would be for the country should these go ahead. Every time, the Department of Labour has calculated that every time there is a holiday that is Mondaysed, there is an economic cost to the country of roughly $200 million. What we're hearing from the other side is they don't care if there's an extra $200 million worth of costs put on New Zealand businesses. We know that they don't support our economic growth program. We know that they don't support our labour market reforms, which will actually create more jobs. We know that they didn't support our 90-day trial, which created 13,000 new jobs. And one of the reasons why we're seeing more jobs being created is because we're seeing less costs put onto businesses. We're seeing less red tape. We're seeing less regulation being put on businesses. But an extra $200 million is not to be laughed at. An extra $200 million cost to the economy. Mr Speaker, this bill should be opposed for some very good reasons, because we as New Zealanders care about Waitangi Day. We as New Zealanders believe that the people who went to war to give us freedoms in this country should be respected and not have their day trampled on by the Mondaysation that this bill would bring about. And, Mr Speaker, we believe we should be keeping costs off businesses, and $200 million every time these days are Mondaysed is $200 million too much. Mr Speaker, the National Party takes pride in opposing this bill for the reasons I've outlined tonight.
I call Denise. Order. I'm calling Denise Roach.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's my pleasure to rise to support this bill. And